If you're over 35 and unemployed right now, there's a voice inside you that's louder than ever. It says, I should have figured it out by now. It whispers at night when you're lying in bed, scrolling job boards you don't even care about. It hits you in the gut when friends ask how the job search is going. It tuckers when you see someone younger land a position you once dreamed about. That voice, the one telling you you're too late, too old, too irrelevant. It's a liar, a slick, convincing liar that sounds like reason and logic, but it's not truth. The truth is being over 35 and unemployed doesn't mean you failed. It means you're being given a rare and powerful opportunity, one that most people avoid their entire lives. The opportunity to reclaim control, to question everything you've been told about success, identity and value, to stop measuring yourself by timelines you didn't even create. Let's break this down somewhere along the way. We were sold this idea that by 30-something we'd have it all sorted. Career stability, a title that means something. A clear path, maybe even a house savings. A retirement plan, a neat little arc. But reality doesn't work like that. Careers collapse, industries change. Life throws curveballs, and suddenly here you are smart, experienced, talented, and unemployed. So, what that doesn't erase your value. It exposes your potential, because the truth is at 35 and beyond, you're at your strongest you've lived. Enough to know what doesn't work. You've failed, you've endured. You've learned to read people, read rooms, survive chaos, navigate hard conversations, and stay calm under pressure. That doesn't make you behind. It makes you dangerous in the best way. So, why are you letting a temporary employment make you question your worth? Why are you believing the lie that reinvention is only for the young? Let me tell you something. Some of the most successful, fulfilled, purpose-driven people didn't find their lane until after 35, 40, even 50, because there's something special that happens in your 30s and 40s. You stop trying to impress the world, and you start asking what you want. Not what your parents expected, not what society said was safe, not what makes a good LinkedIn headline, but what lights you up, what feels right, what aligns with who you've become. And the longer you ignore that, the more misaligned you feel. That's why this moment, this pause, this unemployment, this space you didn't ask for is so critical. It's an invitation to stop living life on autopilot. It's a reset button, and yes, I know resets come with panic. Bills don't stop, responsibilities don't go away. But neither does your power. And now it's time to use it differently. You're not here to beg for your old life back. You're here to build something new, something that fits the person you are now. That might mean shifting careers. That might mean learning a new skill, joining a new industry, going freelance, or launching your own thing. God might mean finally turning that someday idea into something real. But first, you've got to drop the shame. You've got to stop apologizing for being in transition. Stop talking about your gap like it's a disease. Start owning your evolution, because the person who's willing to rebuild in public, that person is powerful, that person is resilient. That person scares the hell out of a system built to keep people obedient and afraid. And you might not feel powerful right now. You might feel confused, tired, burned out. That's okay. But understand, this confusion is the beginning of clarity. Rock bottom is the foundation where realize are built. And you've got everything you need: experience, instinct, awareness, and now the freedom to choose differently. That's a gift, a terrifying, unplanned, beautiful gift. So take a breath, look around. You're not lost, you're just not going backward. And that means you're on the right path. You're over 35, unemployed, and maybe, just maybe, completely exhausted. Not just from job hunting, but from carrying the weight of expectations. Expectations that told you life had to look a certain way by now, that you were supposed to be stable, settled, clear. But here you are standing in uncertainty, wondering what happened. Here's what happened: life. Real life, unpredictable, unscripted, unfiltered. And you're not here because you did something wrong. You're here because life finally pushed you into the deep end, where the shallow games no longer work. The game of playing it safe, The game of doing what's smart instead of what's true. The game of following someone else's formula for success. And now you get to stop playing. Now you get to build, and yes, it's uncomfortable. Starting over at 35 or 40 or beyond isn't glamorous. It's gritty, it's quiet, it's uncelebrated, but you know what it is more than anything? Real. And real is where transformation lives. So stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop waiting for a company to validate your worth. Stop waiting to feel ready before you move. Start where you are with what you've got. Because you've got more than you think. You've got lessons paid for in years, in stress and failure. In quiet perseverance, you've got perspective. The kind you don't get in your 20s. You've got instincts forged and pressure. You've got clarity even if it feels foggy now. Because you've lived enough to know what you'll never settle for again. That's power, so use it. Start building not just a career, but a life that reflects who you are now. Not who you were 10 years ago. That might mean pivoting. It might mean launching something that scares you. It might mean learning something new, reaching out to someone you admire, or finally writing, speaking, designing, consulting, whatever's been buried under layers of not now. Because now is all you've got. And here's the wild thing, your best years are not gone there ahead if you build them. You don't need to be 25 to be unstoppable. You need to be awake. And that's what you are right now. Awakened by a shakeup. Broken open just enough to stop living by default. And I know what you're thinking. What if I fail again? Here's the truth. You might, but here's the bigger truth. You failed before and survived. You've been through hard things and kept going. You've had doors slammed in your face and still stood tall. You don't need guarantees. You need guts. You don't need the whole plan. You need the next right step. So stop thinking small, stop paying for just enough. Stop trying to squeeze back into a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. You're not here to play it safe. You're here to build something real, something that fits, something that lasts. Even if it takes time, even if it looks different than what others expect. This is your life, you get to define it. And the version of you who's willing to build again at 35, 40, 50, that version is dangerous. That version is wise, bold, unshakable. That version doesn't just chase a job. They create impact, and that's who you are now. Not unemployed, not lost. Not behind, becoming. Becoming the person who stopped pretending and started building. Becoming the person who no longer plays small. Becoming the person who turns loss into leadership, pain into purpose, and age into advantage. So yes, you're over 35. Yes, you're unemployed. And yes, you're exactly where your new life begins.